Hi, my name is Jasmine Amy Rogers, and I play Betty Boop in Boop the Musical. Come see us in Chicago through December 24th. Boop boop be doop.
So cute. Hi, it's me, Makai.
And your girl, Allie.
And we're here to interview Jasmine Amy Rogers,
the lead in the new Boop the Musical on Broadway in Chicago.
Yeah, so we're gonna get into it. Stay tuned. Hi, Jasmine.
Hello.
Okay, so you're originating this role of Betty Boop.
Yes.
I want to know how much of Betty is you?
Ooh, that's a great question. I think a lot of Betty is me, and a lot of myself is Betty. You know, I think that's where it comes from. It's like we're just both these fun-loving, energetic.
And if you could ask Boop one question, if she was here with us right now, what would you ask her?
I think I would ask her what her motto on life is. As I know it's her catchphrase is "You're capable of amazing things." But I guess if it would be, I would ask her like, what is her advice to live like the happiest life? Because she just does. Like, you know, you watch her in all her shorts and she's just like always a smile on her face, always ready to go. And I just, you know, this world is not her world, and we see her discover that in the show. And I just wonder, like, you know, what her view on things would be.
I didn't know that was her catchphrase. You could do amazing things.
You're capable of amazing things. Yeah.
What are some Betty Boop-isms that you got from the cartoon? And then what did you create yourself? Like some physical things or quirks like that?
Well, definitely, I think from the cartoon, a lot of her hands. She kind of does have like a little like a princess hand kind of thing. Her stances for sure. And like her hips, her hands are always on her hips, but her wrists are always kind of like flipped back. She's just so cute. And so a lot of it, once you see it, once I saw it, at least it kind of like came into me. But I definitely think for me, what I brought to her, I think there's like a little bit more chaos in my Boop than her Boop. Because and the way she handles the chaos, you know, she's a little bit more graceful than I am. So there's definitely a mix of that, but yeah.
Yeah.
I think you bring your own character to it, and I love that even more.
Thank you.
But let's hear about any unexpected moments on stage, any bloopers you can share with us?
Oh my goodness, things happen all the time. It'll happen like we'll be on stage and Dwayne, the guy who plays Dwayne, Ainsley Mellum, he and I are great friends, but there was a day we had this intimate scene on the rooftop at the end of the show, and somebody sneezed backstage. And it's just like, he's just one of those people you just look at, and he starts to smile, you start to smile, and you're like, oh, like keep it together, like, you know, always little things like that, but yeah.
Okay. I am very curious about the choreography.
Okay.
What was your initial reaction to it, and did you pick it up easily?
I was horrified. So actually, fun fact, when I first auditioned for the show, I did all like the scenes and everything like that. The scenes and song was fine. I had a dance audition, a one-on-one with our associate, Rochelle Rack, who, if you don't know her, she's iconic in the Broadway dance world. And I was so intimidated, I bombed it. I did not book the show. I got a call that day from my agents, and they were like, they're gonna go in a different direction. And I was heartbroken. And I think it's just because I lacked confidence. I was so afraid. But then when it came back, you know, when I found out they had the opportunity to audition again, I went to tap classes. I got it together because I was like, I can't mess this up again. And then I ended up booking it. And so the first like 2 weeks for myself, it was just me and Rochelle. And we learned all like the pieces that I would need to put on a show. And so it was very intimidating, and it took me a second. And even once we started, I still had moments where I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but it wasn't the truth, you know? So, and she was so helpful and like instrumental in me figuring that out for myself. So, you know, but we're here now, and we're confident in it, and it's great.
Can you tell us any other things or unusual skills or things you picked up for the role of Boop?
Oh my goodness. You know, I think a lot of it I had, and I think that's what's beautiful about it. Like it felt like it was meant to be. Like, you know, I've always kind of dabbled in like these voices that I do and these like the physicality of things like that. That's always been like my favorite way through acting and acting and just being as a human. So I don't think like there's anything crazy that I picked up, but I will say I'm so much more confident in my tap dancing now because I grew up tap dancing, but I stopped when I got to a certain age. And so like the thought of doing it again freaked me out so much, but now I can say that like I have that skill again. So it's nice.
Yeah, I'm glad it came back.
Me too.
Can you talk a little bit about working with the 2D, like flats and the projection and the Pudgy puppet?
Oh my goodness. So the flats, I feel like because Betty, I'm working through Betty as herself, she is a cartoon. I don't even really notice that too much. But I will say it's so cool to like look at and see, and it also, of course, like informs everything. And then working with Pudgy's so great, and you know, he's marionetted by Philip Huber, who is our puppeteer, and he built Pudgy himself.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't know for a while that he built that puppet, but that is his puppet. That is his creation. And he's an amazing human being, but he has a way of disappearing on stage, and it's all Pudgy. And Pudgy's like an extra scene partner.
Absolutely.
He's so good at his reactions and being a part of the scene. So like, especially that I've noticed now that we're like settling into it a little bit more, I will like pay more attention to Pudgy and like throw more things to him because he's literally an active participant in what we're doing. It's so cool.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
And as far as any like personal kind of euphemisms or sayings that you've taken from the show and picked up in your daily life, I knew walking out of here, I said boop boop be doop to myself.
Yeah.
What are some things that you kind of say to yourself that remind you of this show?
Oh my goodness. Well, no, we don't. We also have the "You are capable of amazing things" just on our sweatshirt here, which is like important. A lot of it's like stuff that we've come up with. Oh, let me not touch the mic. We've come up with backstage. Like I have our dance arranger who wrote the music for our dancing and everything like that. He gave me like a personal mantra that I won't repeat because there's some curse words in it, but it's very like personal to the two of us, which is really cute. And then one of my favorite things to go say though is if you do see the show, I don't want to spoil it, but I will say one of our actresses, she has this beautiful number where she basically runs for mayor, and at the end she's like riffing, and one of her things she says at the end, she goes, "Carol for mayor!" And I say that all the time, and I can't. Like every time I see her, I'll just say that, and like it's one of my favorite things. One of my favorite things. But yeah.
What was growing up? What was one of your like cartoon favorites?
Oh my goodness. Wow, I was a big Disney princess girl. Ariel was my girl. And especially now that this new live action came out. The live action came out, when I tell you, I started crying.
It was
the minute it opened up and you saw like the world, immediately tears. So Ariel, definitely. Cinderella was my favorite, one of my favorite Disney princess cartoon movies, and then the live action of that as well with Brandy. Yeah, I was just like I was a really big Princess Disney girl. Yeah.
Okay, well that's it. Thank you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you
Thanks for
so
letting us
much.
interview you.
Of course, thank you. I hope that went well. Sometimes we'll be talking.